Welcome to Rack of the Week 222. I am currently in an undisclosed location. I've recorded this video ahead of time to play on Sunday. I want to say thank you, as always, to all of my Patreon and YouTube supporters. You guys are loving the idea of the Ghost Align, and in the future, I want to solicit some opinions from you and maybe some video clips of using the Ghost Align and how it's helping you. And I'm going to do the same because I know that it's helped my game. Let's get into this Rack of the Week. I think this will be a quick one. I call this Connect the Dots. Let me hit the play button and we'll shoot this break shot and take a look. This is going to be a pretty wide open rack. Easy lesson, but I kind of thought of a different way to present this here. I kind of overcooked this a little bit. Cue ball goes up table, but I'm rescued by that 15 ball coming up there. So, typical thing with shortstop on pool, we do rack analysis. We look at the rack right up to the break shot, and that's what you see me doing right now. I'm making a decision. I've made a pretty quick decision here about what I want to do, but our rack analysis tells us that this is an open rack. No two balls are touching. The balls in the rack area are not clustered. You can pick them apart, so we're not going to be running into balls. We're going to try to find a way to pick them apart, and one way that I see to do this is, for example, you get these 3-ball clusters like that, and don't think you need to run into them. Because if you shoot the 1 ball this way, then your cue ball's over here. Now you can shoot the 12 ball this way, then your cue ball's over here. And then you can shoot the 2 ball this way. So you're looking at a way to group, that's one way to group balls, but you're looking at a way to group balls together into shot sequences. I haven't talked about this lately, but 3 to 4 ball shot sequences. For example, this is a wide open rack. We're probably going to want to manufacture a break ball. If we don't use this 2 ball as a break ball, we can nudge one of these balls into a break ball position. So you're looking at this table and you might think, oh, let's clear the up table balls first. Well, that's a 4-shot sequence. So you might shoot the 15, slide down here, shoot the 5, shoot this ball, come over here and shoot that one. So you don't need to think about these. That's a 4-ball shot sequence. You can look at the table and go, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, done. So we're breaking down the rack. We're looking at the rack in whole. When we start to shoot, our attention is focused on one shot at a time. But in between those two things, the micro and the macro, you have shot sequences. So that's a 4-ball shot sequence on the screen. So it allows you to compartmentalize and you don't get overloaded with the complications of the things that can happen in a straight pool rack. Because even though you look at it, the whole table, and you have an idea of how to run it, that idea can unfold 10 different ways, depending on exactly where the cue ball goes and the decisions you make. So compartmentalize. Put together shot sequences and then connect the dots. So you look at this table and you might think, oh, 6, 11, 8. There's a shot sequence. 1, 14, 2. There's a shot sequence. So there's 3 groups of balls. I want to make this point real quickly, too, before we start. Every single rack is a maximum of 14 points. So you want to think about that. That's the break shot, which is 1, plus 13 more balls. So I shot the break shot and pocketed it. That means there's now 14 balls on the table. So from this point, I only have to shoot 13 shots, not 14 or 15. 13 shots. Okay? Well, I'm going to pocket 13 on the table and leave 1 for the break shot. So 13 shots is 3 sequences of 3 balls and 1 sequence of 4 balls. The 3 of 3 is 9 plus 4 is 13. So that's the way to look at it. You're only going to have 4 shot sequences in a rack. This mostly applies to an open rack where we're not having to deal with clusters. Okay. So how do I decide to do this? I decide to not clear the up table balls. I'm going to leave these. One reason why is the 5's hanging out in front of the side pocket. So you can shoot the 10, draw back and have the 5 in the side, or you can get an angle and then come out and shoot the 5 on the other side. So I'm saving those. I can shoot them during the middle of the rack or later. But I've got a 3-ball sequence. It was the 15, this ball on the side, and then the 3. So now I'm coming across center table to get into another sequence. And here's where I pause again and take a look. I'm making it how do I want to do this? So my sequence is these 2 balls and the 1. That's my second 3-ball shot sequence. I have not paused the video. I stood over there and I was planning this out. This one is an insurance ball based on what I do with these balls in the center, because I'm going to be nudging balls. So I decided that I don't want to eliminate this ball. So now if I get a shot on the 1, I'd shoot it now, but since I don't, I've got to shoot the 8 and then come back and get on it. Well, but you want to shoot the 8 first anyway, because I've already identified this 3-ball sequence. I need the 8 out of the way so that this stripe goes this way. So that was the plan. So now once I shoot this 1 ball, now that 3-ball sequence is over. Or maybe you could make this next shot the 4th ball in the sequence. It doesn't matter, but you get the idea. Group them into sequences of shots. So now this, I think, is the next sequence. And why is that? Because I don't have a break ball. So I'm shooting this stripe. I'm going to leave this ball because that may end up being my break ball. And guess what? Here's the perfect key ball to get on this below the rack break ball shot. So I'm leaving those. That means this is the next sequence. I'm going to these balls next. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I can cut the 12. I think that's the 12 ball, and send my cue ball this way. I'd like to brush the 9 to knock it over here and make it into a break ball. I can also gently hit this ball and knock it up and make it into a break ball. But I'm going to have a ball near the rack. So I'm giving it a try. If it doesn't work out, okay, I've got this ball to fall back on. So that's the plan. But this is the first shot in the 3rd sequence of shots. Now I'm going to go back around and take a look at this because I've got to make a decision. Yeah, I'm looking right now from over there to see if the 9 ball has cleared the rack, and it has cleared the rack. So now I'm deciding, do I want to commit to that or not?
That's the shot.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm taking a look at it, and it has cleared the rack. Okay. So I want to shoot the 9 as the break shot. Because I've made that decision, that informs the next sequence. That now means that I'm going to shoot these 2 balls last and use this as the key ball to get on the 9 ball as the break shot. I'm not saying that's the best pattern in this rack. There could very well be a much better one. I'm just saying in the flow of the moment, that's the way my thought process worked with the sequence of balls and identifying that I want to save those balls up table. I could choose a different key ball, in which case I might choose to shoot this ball, draw back and shoot this one, and then come up here and grab these 2. Then I can come down and use these 2 balls to reposition for the break shot. That's okay as well. There's different, like I said, there's always different plans, but you got to have a plan before you begin shooting. So that's my plan, and so my sequence now is, I don't remember. Let's hit play. Oh, I remember. I want to clear all the lower table balls. So I don't have a straight-in shot on either of these 2 balls. So I'm shooting this one because I can get on this 13, which when I shoot the 13, I can shoot a stop shot because I'm now on the correct side of the 14 to slide over here and then shoot the 2. So that's my 4-ball sequence to clear the remaining balls down table. Criticize that if you want, but that was my plan, and that's that 4-shot sequence. I don't like what I did here. I'm sliding over it because what I figure I can do is draw the cue ball out of this corner to get on the stripe, but that's not a good plan because this ball's in the way. And I end up with the cue ball here, which is fine. Or I actually decide to go the other way, and I decide to go spin the cue ball this way and shoot the 10 and draw back for the 5. But I don't get it. So this is a mistake. It doesn't look like it because it looks like, oh, I got perfect on that. But I could have shot the 2 and brought the cue ball this way and landed in the exact same spot with no danger at all, other than not hitting it hard enough and ending up behind the 5. It's not the end of the world if you hit it bad and you get a shot, like the cue ball stops here. You can shoot the 5 and then just cut the stripe and bounce off the rail to center table, and you're on your break shot. But I thought, regardless, that this was a great example of grouping the balls into shot sequences. So because I landed here, it's just come across table and shoot the 5 in the other side. And notice that my cue ball is far away from the 5. I'm not trying to stop the cue ball here. Get far away, because then whatever angle you have is mitigated. It's less impactful. Now it's just a simple draw over here, and I'm on the break shot. Grouping the balls into sequences like that simplifies the rack. You don't have to think about every shot. And it's impossible anyway, because that could have unfolded, like I said, 10 different ways, depending on exactly where the cue ball stops and what decisions I make during the rack. So think about that, connecting the dots when you have an open rack like that. Just kind of look at it and group balls. Okay, I'm going to do this and then attack this and then that. And then your plan can change as you go along, but you're just grouping the balls into sequences so that it makes it easier for your brain to process and for you to keep shooting in flow. So this break shot is interesting because the ball's very close to the rack, and I don't want to do much with the cue ball. This is just a center ball stun. The cue ball is going to just like stun a foot away from the rack, up table, in one, I'm not sure which direction, but I'm not trying to hit the rail. See, just like that. And as we can predict with certainty almost every single time, that ball, that 5 ball, just comes over here, and you're always going to have this shot in the side pocket when you do that. So really kind of classic example of how to approach that type of rack in straight pool, an open rack like that. Hope you like that. I'm going to now record the next week's Rack of the Week so I can get it uploaded and scheduled to play before I leave on my little road trip here. Hope you like that. If you're going to play pool, play it straight. See you soon on next week's Rack of the Week. Bye.